Urgent climate change, stark inequality, and unfair aspects of globalization impact everyone and the planet. We're taking a stand, setting long-term ambitions for our role on these issues where they matter most. In Taiwan, we're encouraged by the many stories that contribute and showcase progress towards building a better future for generations to come. It is our honor to bring them to you through the eyes of Standard Chartered. Hey, so Ted, I hear you have a really amazing program here in Taiwan, the Keep Walking Fund. It would be fabulous to hear more about what is that all about?
Yes, you are right. This is a project we are particularly proud of. And we talked about the spirit of one of our iconic brands, Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
Keep Walking. It embraces the idea of progress.
Yes.
And this is the essence of the Keep Walking Fund. And we hope to provide support for those who would like to make society better to pursue their dream. So in Taiwan, we launched this program in 2003. Every year, we set aside 10 million NT dollars as a seed funding for those who dare to dream. At the age of 19 years old today, the Keep Walking Fund has received more than 10,000 proposals with 206 dreams funded over the year. You see those proposals, the ideas cover from medical care, environmental sustainability, and local cultural rejuvenation, and talent empowerment and digital.
Similar at Standard Chartered, we have the Future Makers program, which we launched in 2019. And the focus of the program is disadvantaged youths with a leaning towards females and a leaning towards visually impaired. So here in Taiwan, we've supported close to 5,500 individuals. Similarly, for this year, we've got an aspiration of increasing that by another 2,000 individuals. And so the objective here is really to help them learn and grow, learn new skills, equip themselves ready for employment in the future, and the likes. And actually within the bank itself, we have 6 visually impaired staff that work for us, mainly in our telemarketing area. So I think there's an opportunity we can create for people to create their careers and opportunities within the bank, the Future Makers program. Under that, here in Taiwan, 4 weeks ago, we launched the Women in Entrepreneurship, very similar to what you've been doing with the Keep Walking Fund. And the concept of the program is supporting women entrepreneurs here in Taiwan who have established their businesses maybe for 2, 3, 4 or 5 years and are looking for that assistance in the form of mentoring, teaching, presentation skills and the like. So we've set it up with a view to support around 30 businesses and up to 60 entrepreneurs, because I think that when you think about the community, you think about inclusion, lifting participation within the workforce and the community more broadly. Some of the challenges that young entrepreneurs, and in particular females, potentially face in the work environment, I think us as organisations, and we felt at Standard Chartered, we could really add back to the community. So that's something we've launched. So we're excited to see what's going to happen this year with that first cohort that comes through.
That sounds amazing. I think we can learn from each other. Let me share with some examples. So for the Keep Walking Fund, there are some well-known winners. For instance, the late director, Chi Bo-lin, who is the first Keep Walking Fund winner. With the funding, he was able to film a complete series of the ecological situation of Taiwan water system. Just recently, one of our past winners, Jia Zhen, she shared with me and my colleagues her journey to become a visually impaired barista. With the funding support, she was able to train and provide life skills to those who are also visually impaired like her. Another winner is Mason Zhong. He launched a digital platform to help farmers. Many of them are the indigenous community and women in Hualien. Through this platform, they are able to market their products in different cities around Taiwan.
So I think that creating these opportunities through these different programs, I think is so important in how organizations can contribute into the community.
Yes, I heard you have an amazing marathon game, which is fantastic. Would you mind to share with me?
Yeah, no, and I know, Ted, you're a marathon runner as well, so maybe we can entice you to the Standard Chartered Marathon. It's exciting, actually, because I've been in Taiwan, this is my 3rd year now, and unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 situation, we were not able to run the marathon for the last 2 years, but this year, on November the 12th, we will be running Standard Chartered Marathon. Typically, we have around 20,000 runners, so it's a huge event here in Taipei. We do a lot of stuff around sustainability under the Future Makers as part of that run, so there's a lot of charitable things that are going to happen. But in the marathon itself, we do raise a lot of charitable funding, and so there's a lot of fundraising that sits around that. Since 2013, about 77 million Taiwanese dollars we've raised in terms of charitable fundraising that we've been able to put back into the community, which I think has a really positive impact.
Speaking of that, I think there's one industry which is close to Diageo's hospitality sector. How, as a Diageo, can help them. So we launched a program called Keep Working Taiwan, and we are trying to use this program to help them enhance their management capabilities. So we invited the instructor to provide free online courses to teach them, start from menu design to product pricing to the know-how of the outlet management. In addition, in 2021, the first time, we reserved some spots in the Keep Working Fund for the hospitality sector.
Yeah, because the hospitality sector was really impacted heavily by COVID-19, and there's a lot of small businesses, family-run businesses that sit out there where that is people's livelihoods. And so I think, you know, like you've just mentioned, your ability to support them and make sure now that the pandemic is over, that they can flourish again and come back into the environment, back into the business community, I think is really compelling.
Yeah. And even for that, they are not fully recovered. Particularly one question pop up, which is the manpower. So with that, this year we launched a program called Keep Working Academy, which is a collaboration with Skill for You and the new Taipei City government. And with this program, we are trying to train the university students who major in hospitality. And through this program, the student can learn practical experience, which is useful for their career development.
So I think that there's so many things that we can do. And actually from the conversation we've had today, Ted, I think there's a lot of commonality between what Diageo is doing and what Standard Chartered is doing in terms of in the community. Both our approaches towards sustainability.
Let me show you around.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you can see here, you can see 4 corners of the Scotland where we make whiskey.
Very famous.
Yeah. Which one you like the most?
So I think if I was gonna pick a whiskey, I think it would be here. The Craignagmore. Yeah. Very nice.
Look like you are the master of whiskey.
I'm not the master of whiskey, but I'm sure I can learn from you, Jen. Anyway, but this looks like a really amazing setup. Actually.
Yeah, this is the place where we share the stories and the origin of our product to our consumers.
And then the consumption, whiskey is very popular here in Taiwan. I hadn't appreciated how popular it is.
It is. And you can see here the Singleton brand. It's actually when, I think back to around a decade ago,
Yeah.
And when Taiwan, we are getting popular with single malt whiskey.
Yes.
And then Diageo decided to build a brand. It's particular for Taiwan. So actually the taste and the ingredient is tailor-made for Taiwanese consumers.
So this is it sold outside of Taiwan, or is it?
It's also sold outside of Taiwan, but actually it's originally designed for Taiwan.
Wow.
And it's become the biggest single malt brand in Taiwan.
Incredible.
In fact, as an industry leader for beverage alcohol, our focus is to provide premium and quality product to consumer. However, our ambition is go beyond that. We want to become the best performing, most trusted and respected company in the world. So to do so, we have to do the business in the right way. Yeah. That means thinking long term and thinking the value we create in the environment where we did source and sell, including in Taiwan. That's why Diageo launched a program we call Society 2030. It's a 10-year action plan to help to create a more sustainable and inclusive society in the world.
Yeah, I think that it'd be interesting, you talk about 2030. There's the net zero ambitions of 2050.
Yes.
Everybody has a common goal to, in order for us to, keep temperature to 1.5 degrees or less, we need to get to net zero by 2050.
Just like I mentioned, our Diageo 2030 is a 10 years action plan, and actually it contains 3 pillars.
Yeah.
First is promote positive drinking, and then is to champion inclusion and diversity.
Yes.
Then is to promote sustainability, where we have a goal in our direct operation. We want to reach net zero by 2030, and within this, water is an important topic for us. So water is an important ingredient when it comes to making whiskey.
Yes.
It's also a precious resource, which is coming under pressure given climate change.
Yeah.
So within our operation, we are trying to improve efficiency in Scotland where our products are made. So we have a goal. By 2030, every drink we make, we will use 30% less water. And started with Johnny Walker, we are progressively reducing the packaging waste. So from removing the outer box from some of the variants, like Johnny Walker Black Label. So in Taiwan, we started in February this year. And in total, 183 million cartons will be sold per year.
Yeah, similar, from the Standard Chartered perspective, our sustainability aspirations and ambitions, and we've put them out there publicly, are very clear. So by 2025, we want to be net zero in our own operations, so our scope 1 and scope 2 emissions. So when I look at that, that's super close. Our scope 3 emissions is with our clients, so a lot of that is the lending and the financing that we do with our clients, and that makes up over 95% of our aggregate emissions. So there's a big effort around, much like you were talking about working with your suppliers, we do a lot of work with our clients around the sustainability journey and supporting and helping them to become greener. Banking is interesting because I kind of see us as like the heart and the arteries, right? Because we've got to pump the financing into the system to support companies transition to a more sustainable future. So there's a big role that we can play in making sure we get financing into the right places globally where the money is needed most to make that transition. So I think there's a lot of alignment and comparables between, us as a bank, yourselves as a company, your supply chain, greening the supply chain. For us, our clients, we want them to become more sustainable. So it feels like it's a big ecosystem that we're all operating around.
Yes, where is the office building?
Yeah, so it's, we got some fabulous views here, and you can see our office building, which is just over there. And we moved into our new head office just over a year ago. One of the reasons we got around 1,000 of our staff located in that building. and we got LED Gold certification for the building in our main branch, and then we also got WELL certification as well. One of the fun things that we did as a project is we actually did a sustainability app. So I can show you on my iPhone actually. So we've got this cool app where our employees can basically measure their carbon footprint. So they can go in and they can put their activities in the app. Everybody is then connected. You can then, when you put your activities in, you can grow trees. So you can look at your own forest in terms of how well that is going. And it's just a fun way of engaging and getting people to think about their habits and how they personally contribute to a more sustainable environment. So I think these are fun things that we can all do.
I think it's very important. So for us, we also have something similar with your forest apps. So we introduce a carbon calculator for employee to take stock of the carbon emission they are generating in their daily life. And over the past few years, we have brought together our employees and family to join our environmental activities, such like water conservation. So for this year, we are celebrating the Earth Day.
Yep.
So we will be doing beach cleaning up together with employee and family here.
Oh, that's fun. Actually, we should join together, do some beach cleaning together, because we're doing very similar. Actually, on the employee volunteering side, we give our employees 3 days a year, and they can decide how they want to engage in the community. So they can select what they want to be doing. So we create a lot of these activities where our employees can engage around that. Actually, despite COVID-19 in 2022, we had 45% of our employees volunteered. And I think that's a huge number of days that we can contribute into the community in many different ways, actually.
Getting employees to be involved in company's sustainability program is very important. Within Diageo, there's a huge emphasis on embedding sustainability within the organization. Diageo partnered with Oxford University Said Business School to roll out sustainability management courses globally this year. Our goal is to let the senior leadership be familiar with the key issues, what Diageo's ESG agenda is, and how they should be leading on this critical agenda.
And I think, look, I mean, this afternoon has been absolutely fantastic, Ted. I've learned so much from you in terms of what Diageo does globally, what Diageo is doing here in Taiwan. It's inspirational, not just the sustainability journey, but how you're engaging with your employees, diversity and inclusion. There is so much going on.
Same here. I also feel very delighted. There are more and more companies that we share the same value. I hope there will be more and more companies join us. Together we can make a more positive impact to the society.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted. We believe it's possible to drive commerce and growth without leaving people behind, negatively impacting the planet or creating divisions that diminish our sense of community. We're integrating sustainability into all our decision making across our business, operations and communities. Standard Chartered is a bank like no other. We have a huge opportunity to build a future with our staff, customers and communities. Together, we will make it a reality.